Hello everyone, and welcome to our channel. Are you aware of what's happening in Romania right now? In a time marked by political and social changes, it's essential to stay correctly informed about the events shaping our future. In this video, we'll discuss a current topic, Călin Georgescu and his political proposals for Romania, an independent leader who could bring significant changes to our system. If you're looking for objective, accurate, and realistic information about the political situation in our country, this is the right place. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video to reach as many people as possible who need a clear and informed perspective. But before we begin, write in the comments if, in your opinion, Romania is a democratic country or not. Romania is a country with an extremely important geographical position, playing a strategic role in the geopolitical balance of Europe and the world. Located at the intersection of Eastern and Western Europe, Romania is a crucial link between major geopolitical regions, sharing borders with key states such as Ukraine and having direct access to the Black Sea. This intersection between East and West makes Romania an essential country in global politics, especially considering that it is part of both the European Union and NATO, two of the world's most powerful political and military alliances. Its geographical location is a determining factor in regional security, and Romania's importance has significantly increased in the context of the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. The Black Sea, which Romania is part of, is a region of utmost importance for international trade and Europe's energy security. Romania has direct access to this sea, which serves as a strategic route for energy resources and trade with Central Asia and the Middle East. Additionally, Romania plays a key role in maintaining stability in the Balkans and preventing the spread of regional instability by supporting security and cooperation initiatives in the area. Regarding natural resources, Romania is rich in energy resources, including natural gas and oil, and has significant mineral and agricultural resources, with a well-developed agricultural sector and a substantial energy industry. These resources make it an important actor in the context of the global energy crisis and the European Union's strategy to reduce dependence on Russia. Romania is also a key transit point for energy resources from eastern regions, being part of the Southern Gas Corridor, an essential route for transporting natural gas from the Caucasus and Central Asia to Europe. Romania also benefits from essential strategic partnerships, especially with the United States and the European Union, which consider it a key ally in the region. The presence of the NATO base in Deveselu and other military facilities in Romania highlights the country's crucial role in European and global security strategy. Romania plays an essential role in strengthening NATO's eastern flank and protecting the alliance's interests against geopolitical challenges posed by Russia. Furthermore, Romania has an important role in supporting countries in the EU's Eastern Partnership, such as Ukraine and Moldova, in their efforts for European integration and regional security. Additionally, Romania benefits from its strategic location on the Black Sea, which not only represents a vital trade route, but also an area of significant global security interest. Through its access to the Black Sea, Romania can influence trade and energy flows, given the importance of the port of Constanta, one of the largest ports in Eastern Europe. This position adds a significant economic dimension in relation to the world's major powers, making Romania an important player in global energy and trade politics. Thus, Romania is a country of immense geopolitical importance due to its strategic position, natural resources, and its role in maintaining regional and global stability and security. In the current geopolitical context, the major powers of the world are well aware of Romania's importance and its essential role in promoting peace and international cooperation, positioning it as a key actor in maintaining the balance between East and West. But let's see what are the reasons why there is a desire to remove Călin Georgescu. 1. The perception that he is pro-Russia. The perception that Călin Georgescu is pro-Russia has sparked intense controversy, especially in the context of current international politics. This subject is a sensitive one for the Romanian public, particularly due to Romania's strategic position as a member of the European Union, EU, and NATO. Such a label can raise questions regarding the country's foreign policy and its loyalty to strategic alliances, such as the partnership with the United States and Western European countries. Călin Georgescu has been criticized by some political commentators for his statements, which are considered favorable to closer ties with Russia. This perception might stem from comments about the need for a balanced relationship with all world powers, including Russia. However, in the current geopolitical climate, any suggestion of collaboration with Russia is interpreted as a potential deviation from Western values and may jeopardize Romania's credibility on the international stage. Georgescu's critics argue that this label harms his image, as Romanians are concerned about maintaining a pro-Western stance. Support for energy independence, national security, and European democratic values are key priorities for the population. In contrast, his supporters claim that the pro-Russia label is a political discrediting tactic without a solid foundation, and that Georgescu is more pro-Romania, focusing on national interests. In a political landscape marked by global tensions, Romania must maintain a firm position within its alliances. The pro-Russia label can affect public perception, influencing debates about the country's strategic direction and the role of political leaders. However, it is essential that such accusations be objectively analyzed based on the candidate's actual statements and actions. 2. His political proposals and strategy for Romania. A vision different from traditional political interests. Călin Georgescu has developed a set of political proposals that stand out due to their differentiation from the vision of Romania's traditional political parties. These proposals are anchored in a vision of sustainable development, energy independence, economic reforms, and national security consolidation, all aimed at transforming Romania into an important regional player. Unfortunately, his proposals are not always well received by those who benefit from the current status quo, as they might feel their economic or political interests are threatened by the changes Georgescu's strategy would bring. One of the main differences between Georgescu and the traditional parties is his approach to foreign relations, where he proposes a balanced policy between East and West, whereas traditional parties tend to adopt clearer pro-Western or pro-NATO positions. This could raise concerns among those who fear that a more flexible approach could undermine Romania's international credibility, especially in the current context of global geopolitics. In addition, the economic reforms he proposes, such as developing internal industry, supporting sustainable agriculture, and improving energy infrastructure, are concepts that may seem radical to traditional parties, which tend to support more conservative or already established economic plans. These economic protection measures are seen by some as an attempt to reduce dependence on major international economic players, which could lead to greater tensions in Romania's foreign relations. Another major difference is his approach to national security, where Georgescu proposes a self-defense strategy, focusing more on internal resources and complete energy independence, which would involve significant investments in innovative technologies and defense infrastructure. This vision could conflict with traditional plans for international military collaboration within NATO, where some traditional parties emphasize strengthening relations with external allies and collective defense. Another aspect of his strategy that could generate opposition is his nationalist centrism, which places Romania first in relation to external alliances. This approach could create friction between his supporters and those who believe that deeper integration into the European Union and NATO is the key to the country's long-term stability and prosperity. In such a context, those who fear change may try to block his rise, fearing that radical changes to the political and economic strategy could undermine their personal or collective interests. They might invoke geopolitical risks, economic instability, or internal conflicts as arguments against the new vision proposed by Georgescu, trying to convince the electorate that change could bring more problems than solutions. It is clear that Călin Georgescu's proposals are ambitious and address fundamental challenges that Romania faces today, but they are also provocative to the existing status quo. Implementing them will require not only political support from those already in favor of change, but also extensive collaboration with traditional parties to overcome resistance to change and gain national consensus for the desired progress. 3. Lack of support from traditional parties. Challenges for Călin Georgescu in gaining significant political backing. One of the main obstacles Călin Georgescu faces in his political campaign is the lack of support from traditional political parties. As an independent, Georgescu does not benefit from the well-established structures of traditional political parties that have influence in Romanian politics. These structures, with their networks of supporters and financial resources, are crucial for running an effective electoral campaign, and Georgescu must find alternatives to compensate for this lack of institutional support. In Romania, traditional parties, such as the Social Democratic Party, PSD, the National Liberal Party, PNL, or the USR, Save Romania Union, hold significant political power, and most political figures in these parties occupy key positions in state institutions. Their support is essential for promoting a candidate and securing a stable political majority in parliament and government. Without this network, Georgescu risks remaining isolated in the face of a tough political competition, where most resources are controlled by traditional parties. Furthermore, traditional parties might view the candidacy of an independent as a direct threat to their own political and economic interests. These parties are often invested in protecting the status quo, maintaining control over political decisions and allocation of resources in key areas such as the national budget, foreign policy, and strategic economic sectors. Călin Georgescu, with a different and more radical vision, could undermine this control, prompting rejection from traditional leaders who do not want to lose influence. It is possible that these parties will not directly support Georgescu's candidacy due to ideological differences or fear of losing votes if his support attracts the electorate dissatisfied with traditional parties. Additionally, any form of support for an independent candidate could weaken their positions and reduce their political power in the face of a potential fundamental change in Romania's political system. Moreover, Georgescu might face active resistance from these parties, which could try to minimize his impact, block the promotion of his political messages, or even influence the media to create a negative perception about him. This could be done by discrediting his proposals, or by launching accusations suggesting that his independence implies political instability and lack of internal support. In this context, in order to achieve his goals, Călin Georgescu needs to adopt an alternative political strategy that does not rely on direct support from traditional parties. This could include mobilizing the center-right or center-left electorate that is dissatisfied with the status quo, fostering a coalition of interests with civic groups and independent organizations, and promoting a message of national unity that transcends traditional political divisions. Additionally, he could focus on building an active group of supporters and presenting himself as a credible and authentic independent leader, in contrast to a political system that is often seen as corrupt and inefficient by a significant portion of the population. In conclusion, lack of support from traditional parties presents a major challenge for Călin Georgescu, but it could also become an opportunity if he manages to create an independent and sustainable political movement that captures the trust of an electorate dissatisfied with the traditional party alternatives. 4. Fear of change in the current system. How Călin Georgescu's ideas could be perceived as a threat to the status quo. One of the significant challenges faced by Călin Georgescu in his political endeavors is the fear of change within Romania's existing political and economic system. His vision, which includes ideas such as sustainable development, anti-corruption initiatives, and fundamental reforms in both domestic and foreign policies, might be perceived as threatening by those with a vested interest in maintaining the current status quo. In Romania, as in many countries, change can be met with resistance, especially when it challenges long-standing power structures and entrenched interests. Political elites, business magnates, and individuals benefiting from corrupt practices or outdated systems might feel personally targeted by Georgescu's proposals. For instance, his calls for eliminating corruption could directly affect influential figures who rely on corrupt networks for power, contracts, and economic advantage. Reforms in governance, aimed at creating a more transparent and accountable political system, may be seen as an existential threat to these individuals, prompting them to resist his message. Moreover, sustainable development is another core principle of Georgescu's platform. This idea promotes environmental responsibility and long-term growth over short-term profits, which may disrupt industries heavily reliant on unsustainable practices. Sectors like mining, energy, or construction, which often benefit from lax environmental regulations or state-sponsored monopolies, could see Georgescu's policies as a direct challenge to their business models and profitability. Furthermore, any call for a restructuring of Romania's international alliances, such as suggesting a re-evaluation of the country's role within the European Union or its relationship with NATO, could be met with resistance. Romania's foreign policy has traditionally been aligned with Western powers, and a shift in this direction might be seen as an attempt to weaken Romania's ties to important international partners, raising fears about the country's geopolitical stability. Those who have economic or diplomatic advantages within the current framework may resist changes to Romania's international positioning, fearing the potential loss of influence and resources. The fear of change is often rooted in a sense of uncertainty, especially when it comes to political power and economic security. The political establishment and various interest groups might be hesitant to embrace Georgescu's proposals, not necessarily because they are harmful, but because they represent a shift away from familiar structures that have provided benefits and stability for many years. This sense of risk can lead to the perception that any change is a threat to the personal and collective interests that have been entrenched in the current system for a long time. Additionally, the fear of reform extends beyond just political or economic structures. It also encompasses the social fabric of the country. Major reforms in public health, education, and welfare systems could trigger concerns about disruptions to the way people live their everyday lives. Those who feel that they have been benefiting from existing systems might fear that these changes could lead to instability or loss of privileges. Therefore, Georgescu's vision for a restructured Romania might be met with skepticism by some segments of the population, especially if these changes are perceived as too radical or difficult to implement. In conclusion, fear of change in the current Romanian system is a significant barrier to the realization of Călin Georgescu's vision. While his ideas, such as sustainable development, anti-corruption measures, and a shift in Romania's international alliances, have the potential to create a stronger and more prosperous country, they challenge long-established power dynamics and economic interests that have been deeply embedded in the political landscape. Overcoming this fear will require strong leadership, clear communication, and a concerted effort to show that change can bring long-term benefits rather than short-term disruption. 5. Manipulating public opinion, the role of reputation in political strategy. In contemporary politics, reputation plays a crucial role in shaping public perception and ultimately influencing electoral outcomes. For political figures like Călin Georgescu, whose platform is based on major reforms and alternative visions for Romania's future, reputation becomes a central element in the battle for public support. The manipulation of public opinion through targeted attacks on a politician's image is a well-known tactic used to undermine credibility and weaken political influence. One of the most common strategies in discrediting a political figure is to associate them with positions or ideologies that are controversial or disapproved of by the majority. In Georgescu's case, accusations that he has an anti-European agenda or that he is influenced by external powers, such as Russia, are classic examples of such tactics. These claims are designed to instill fear and distrust among voters, especially in a country like Romania, where pro-European Union sentiment is strong and there is widespread support for Romania's European integration and alignment with NATO. The term anti-European in particular carries heavy connotations, suggesting a rejection of European values, standards, and economic cooperation. This label could potentially alienate Georgescu from the Romanian electorate, especially those who view the EU as a key factor in economic growth, democratic governance, and stability. By labeling him as someone who opposes European ideals, his opponents hope to diminish his appeal to voters who are emotionally and politically invested in Romania's European path. Additionally, the accusation that Georgescu is influenced by external powers, particularly by countries like Russia, taps into existing fears regarding geopolitical threats and national security. In an era where international tensions are high, especially between the West and Russia, such accusations can evoke a sense of betrayal and concern among voters, undermining trust in his loyalty to Romanian national interests and its strategic alliances. These types of accusations are more than just simple criticisms. They are strategies of political manipulation designed to distort the narrative surrounding a candidate. In modern politics, where social media and 24/7 news cycles dominate public discourse, the spread of misinformation or selective exaggeration can quickly become widespread. Politicians and interest groups opposing Georgescu may use these narratives to distract voters from his actual policies and ideas, instead focusing the debate on fear-driven allegations. This form of media manipulation is often used to create a perception of danger and threat, shifting public focus away from constructive debates on policy solutions. The aim of such manipulation is to create doubt about Georgescu's intentions and credibility, making it more difficult for him to gain the support of voters who are undecided or unsure of his platform. It also prevents the public from evaluating his vision and strategies in a neutral light, as the narrative becomes clouded with negative stereotypes and emotional responses triggered by accusations of betrayal or disloyalty. In a broader sense, this tactic of reputation manipulation plays into the polarized nature of modern political discourse, where creating a clear enemy or other can rally certain groups of voters while isolating others. In Georgescu's case, portraying him as a potential threat to Romania's European future can galvanize those who see his reforms as risky, while discouraging those who might align with his vision of sustainable development or anti-corruption. Manipulating public opinion in this way is a powerful tool, especially in the digital age, where narratives can spread rapidly and become entrenched. Therefore, defending against such attacks requires a strategic communication effort, one that presents facts, clarifies intentions, and counters misinformation with consistent messaging about the politician's actual goals. Georgescu must work not only to present his positive platform, but also to dispel myths and address public concerns, proving that his agenda is in Romania's best interest and aligned with national prosperity. In conclusion, manipulating public opinion through the strategic use of negative labels and misleading narratives can be an effective way to damage the reputation of political candidates, especially those like Călin Georgescu, who propose changes that challenge the status quo. However, in the face of such tactics, it is essential for political figures to maintain a strong, clear, and credible message, addressing concerns and showing voters that their real interests are being served by proposed reforms, not external agendas or foreign influence. In conclusion, it's important to stay informed and form our own opinions about the future of Romania and the people who may influence it. If you enjoyed this video and found the information relevant and useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest analyses and discussions. Also, give it a like and share this video to reach as many people as possible who deserve to be properly informed. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.